tonight there is nowhere else to be, nothing that needs doing, no one waiting for anything at all. The day has already finished everything it was going to finish, and whatever remains can wait. The hours ahead belong to nothing but rest. The world outside continues on its own terms, but none of that requires attention now. Everything that mattered today has already been handled. Everything that will matter tomorrow is still far enough away to be forgotten. There is permission here to let go of whatever the mind has been carrying. The thoughts that have been circling can find their own place to rest. The small tensions that accumulated through the hours can release now, can soften, can dissolve into the quiet that is settling in. The body knows what the night is for. It knows how to soften when the day ends, how to release the holding that waking requires. This knowledge does not need direction. It simply happens, the way breathing happens, the way rest arrives when conditions are right. Whatever happened today has found its place. Those hours are behind now, finished and complete. They no longer ask for attention or review. The night has arrived, and the night asks for nothing. It expects nothing, requires nothing, but the willingness to let it do what it does. And somewhere far from the busy places, far from the noise of ordinary evenings, a lighthouse stands at the edge where land meets sea. The structure has stood there for over a century. Stone and glass and metal, weathered by every kind of storm. Its light has begun another slow rotation through the gathering dark. The keeper has lived in the small stone cottage at the base of the tower for many years now. The walls are thick enough to hold back whatever weather the sea sends. The windows look out over water that stretches to a horizon already lost in the soft gray of nightfall. Everything that needed doing today has been done. The lamp has been lit, the lens polished, the logbook filled with its daily entry. Now there is nothing left but the evening itself, the hours that belong to rest. A fire burns low in the stone hearth. The flames, having settled into their quieter state, the coals glow bright beneath a layer of white ash accumulated through the afternoon. Warmth fills the small room in the particular way that fire warmth does. Something deeper than ordinary heat. The sound of the waves enters through the thick stone walls. always present, a constant rhythm that has continued since before this lighthouse was built. The sea moves as it has always moved, each wave arriving and withdrawing in patterns older than memory. The keeper sits in the worn armchair near the window, the chair that has held this shape for decades. Its cushions have formed to receive the same body at the same hour. The fabric is soft from years of use, the arms smooth where hands have rested through countless evenings. Warmth from the fire reaches across the room to where the keeper sits. The heat touches the chair, touches the body resting in it. It radiates outward simply because that is what fire does, asking nothing, giving everything. The lighthouse beam sweeps past the window in its rotation. A brief brightening shows the room for a moment before moving on. Then dimness again. The rhythm is steady and familiar. Somewhere outside, the wind has settled into its nighttime way, a gentle movement of air from the west, where the open ocean lies. It carries the salt smell of deep water and the coolness that comes when the sun no longer warms the surface. The clock ticks on the mantel, the sound so regular it has become part of the silence. Hours pass at their own pace toward a morning that will come when it comes. Photographs on the wall have faded into the dimness. Faces barely visible now. The keeper knows them all without needing to see them. Connections accumulated over a lifetime. The tea in its cup has cooled on the small table beside the chair. It waits without urgency for attention that may or may not come. Below the cottage, waves continue their arrival at the rocks. Through the floor, there is sometimes the faintest vibration when a larger swell strikes the foundation. The keeper no longer notices this consciously. It has become part of the rhythm of living here. The fire shifts slightly as a log settles deeper into the coals. A soft sound, almost like a sigh. The flames find their new arrangement and continue their quiet burning. The keeper's hands rest on the arms of the chair, relaxed and still, fingers slightly curled, weight held entirely by the cushions. The warmth touches the skin gently, settling into the body without effort. The coals give what coals give, patient and steady. The cottage has been here through every kind of weather. Stone walls standing against storms, holding warmth against cold, the same view changing with seasons, but always returning to the same essential nature. The keeper has watched all of this through years of mornings and evenings, the slow changes of seasons, the quick changes of weather, the constant presence of the sea. The keeper's breathing has found its evening rhythm, slower and deeper than daytime breath. The body begins its descent into the quieter state that night allows. The sea spreads out beyond the windows, miles of water watched through every season. This familiar vastness has become as much a part of home as the cottage walls. Light from above sweeps past the window again. The brief illumination shows nothing new. Then darkness returns, comfortable and expected. The warmth mingles with the sound of the waves, both constant, both comforting. Heat reaches every corner of the room now. Waves maintain their rhythm at the rocks. Sound rising through the foundation. It becomes part of the cottage, part of the air, part of the breathing that happens without thought. The wind keeps its gentle presence around the building, the same movement held all evening. Sound like distant breathing. Stone walls hold their century of silence. All the nights they have witnessed, all the keepers who have sat in this chair, or one like it, the fire has reached its deepest glow. Visible flames entirely gone. Only coals remain, bright beneath their ash. Heat is still present, still radiating outward. The wind continues its movement around the lighthouse. The same path followed all evening. The same sound around corners. The keeper rests in the chair in the cottage at the base of the tower. Body comfortable, mind quiet, breath slow and even. Hours have passed without being counted. Night has deepened without announcement. Darkness has become complete outside the windows. The warmth radiates from the coals, steady and patient, asking nothing. It fills the room, reaches the chair, touches the keeper. Waves continue their ancient conversation with the rocks. Sound rises, rhythm holds, pattern continues. The sea speaks its constant language. Flames have burned in this hearth through countless evenings before this one. The same kind of warmth, the same kind of light, the same comfort. This chair has held the keeper through all of those evenings. The same cushions, the same arms, the same support. The warmth spreads through the room without effort, reaching places where light cannot. It touches the ceiling, the floor, the walls, waves at the rocks below maintain their steady arrival. The sound rises through the foundation and enters the cottage. It becomes part of the stillness. The lighthouse beam passes the window in its faithful rotation, brief brightening, then dimness again. Wind outside makes its sound around the corners of the building. Gentle pressure against stone and glass. A presence that has become part of the quiet. The cottage has been here. Through every kind of weather the sea has sent. Stone walls standing against storms, holding warmth against cold. Windows looking out at calm seas and rough seas alike. The keeper has watched all of this through years of mornings and evenings, the slow changes of seasons, the quick changes of weather, the constant presence of the sea that never changes, even as it constantly changes. Flames have burned in this hearth through countless evenings before this one. The same kind of warmth, the same kind of light, the same comfort offered to whoever sat in the chair while night settled around the lighthouse. This chair has held the keeper through all of those evenings. The same cushions, the same arms, the same support offered without condition. The furniture has become part of the rest itself. The warmth spreads through the room without effort, reaching places where light cannot. It touches the ceiling, the floor, the walls, the chair, the body resting in it. Heat accumulated through the evening now radiates back from the stone itself. Waves at the rocks below maintain their steady arrival. The sound rises through the foundation and enters the cottage. It becomes part of the air, part of the warmth, part of the stillness that holds everything together. The lighthouse beam passes the window in its faithful rotation, brief brightening, then dimness again. The rhythm has become part of the silence, the pattern part of the stillness. Wind outside makes its sound around the corners of the building. Gentle pressure against stone and glass. Air from the ocean moving past walls that have stood for a century. The keeper's body has settled completely into the chair now. Weight fully released. Muscles no longer holding anything. Position so comfortable it has ceased to be noticed. Photographs hold their faces in the darkness. People who once visited or wrote letters. Their presence continues in memory, in the feeling of connection that does not require seeing or speaking. The clock continues its ticking that has become silence. All objects exist in their places without demanding attention. The warmth settles deeper into the body. The heat that has been given all evening, it reaches places where tension once lived and finds nothing left to soften. Waves speak their constant sound, rhythm holding steady. The sea does not know it is being listened to. It simply does what it has always done. Wind maintains its gentle pressure around the building, the same movement all evening, the same path around corners. The fire has become memory of fire now. Coals still warm, heat still present. The room holds what warmth has been given. The stone remembering what fire taught it. The keeper has known this comfort for many years. The particular feeling of this room at this hour. The way warmth settles into the body. The way waves become like breathing. Hours pass without announcement. Night deepens without fanfare. The darkness outside grows complete, while inside the warmth holds steady. The chair supports without asking anything in return. Cushions that have learned this shape. Arms that have held these hands. Evening after evening, the same rest. The warmth continues its presence. Coals glowing their quiet glow. Heat radiating to every corner. Temperature holding steady as night deepens. Waves arrive at the rocks. Sound constant and unchanging. Rhythm held since before there was anyone to listen. The sea doing what sea does. The wind moves around the building in its familiar path. Sound like distant breathing. Presence of the night outside. The keeper breathes the slow breath of deep rest. Simply the rhythm the body finds when there is nothing to do, nothing to think. The warmth remains steady through the room, reaching everything equally. The waves maintain their rhythm, sound rising and falling with the eternal patience of the sea. Everything that was is still present. The warmth, the waves, the breath, the stillness. Nothing has changed, and nothing needs to change. The cottage holds its peace through the late hours. Stone walls that have held peace for 100 years. Fire that has burned for countless evenings The warmth surrounds everything equally now. The chair, the walls, the air, the body resting in the middle of it all. The waves provide the only movement in this stillness, rising and falling against the rocks below. The rhythm that underlies everything. The light sweeps past the window once more. The brief brightening that has happened so many times, it no longer registers. The wind has found its steadiest state. The same pressure, the same sound, the same movement of air that will continue until dawn. The keeper has been in this chair for hours. The body has found its rest. The mind has found its quiet. The breath has found its rhythm. The night outside is complete now. The sea moving in darkness. The light sweeping across it. The world continuing while the keeper rests. The warmth continues its steady presence. The fire has done what fire does. Heat radiates outward still, gentle and patient. The waves continue their ancient conversation, sound rising through stone, entering the cottage, becoming part of the air. The keeper rests in the chair, in the cottage, at the base of the lighthouse, at the edge of the land, everything in its place. The warmth reaches the deepest parts of the room now. Everything holds the same comfortable temperature. The wind brings the ocean's breath to the cottage walls. Salt and coolness and vast openness. The hours that remain belong to rest alone. Nothing needs to happen. Nothing needs to change. The warmth will hold. The waves will continue. The wind will blow. The stone walls keep their vigil around the room. The fire keeps its warmth in the hearth. The sea keeps its rhythm against the rocks. The night has reached its most peaceful depth, the kind of quiet that exists only at the edge of the sea, far from other lights, far from other sounds. The keeper has drifted into the space between waking and sleeping. Thoughts have slowed to nearly nothing. Consciousness softens into something quieter. The warmth holds everything gently now. The room, the chair, the body resting in it. Heat that has accumulated through the evening. The waves continue their endless conversation with the rocks. The sound that has been here all evening. The rhythm that will be here all night. The wind keeps its gentle presence around the building. The same movement held all evening. The same sound around corners. The fire glows its quiet glow. Coals barely visible now beneath their ash, the heat still present, still radiating. The cottage holds its peace through the deepest hours, stone walls that have held this kind of peace for generations. The chair holds the body that has become so still, the cushions and the keeper both at rest, both simply present. The warmth has soaked into everything now. The walls hold it, the floor holds it, the air holds it, the body holds it too. The waves have been arriving at this shore since before humans walked the earth. The same movement, the same rhythm. Tonight about the sound, the constant presence. The wind brings the ocean's breath to the cottage walls, salt and coolness, moving as wind has always moved. The light continues its faithful circuit overhead, the mechanism turning, the beam reaching across dark water. The keeper rests within all of this, part of the warmth, part of the stillness, not separate from the night, but held by it. The sea moves in patterns too large to see, currents and tides, and the pull of distant moons. The waves that arrive at these rocks complete themselves against the stone. The wind finds its paths around the lighthouse, air moving as air has always moved. The sound it makes is not language, but something older. The keeper has found complete rest now. The consciousness that tracks and notices has softened, simply present, simply being. The night continues without needing attention. The warmth holds, the waves sound, the light turns, all of it continuing together. The hours move forward at their own pace. Morning will come when it comes, but that is far away still. Tonight belongs to rest. The stone of the walls holds the warmth that many fires have given it, the accumulated heat of all the evenings that have passed within this cottage, temperature that comes not just from tonight's fire, but from the memory of fires. The keeper's hands rest without any tension at all, fingers loose, palms open, hands that have worked today and will work tomorrow, but that now simply exist. The sound of the waves has become like the keeper's own pulse, something so constant it is no longer heard as separate, something that has merged with the body's own rhythms. The night outside is complete, the kind of darkness that exists only at the edge of the sea, far from cities, far from lights. the darkness that the body remembers. The warmth continues its steady presence. Coals glowing their quiet glow beneath the ash. Heat radiating to every corner. The wind moves around the building. Sound like distant breathing. Presence of the night outside, making the warmth inside more present. The keeper breathes the slow breath of deep rest. Simply the rhythm the body finds when there is nothing to do. The warmth remains in the room. Fire has done its work. Heat continues outward, reaching everything equally. The keeper rests within all of this, part of the warmth, part of the stillness, part of the continuing. The hours continue their unmeasured passage. The night simply continues. The warmth stays constant. The waves stay constant. All of it part of the same stillness, the same rest. The wind and the waves together now. The constant sound of the night. The rhythm continuing. The waves arriving. The waves retreating. The sound continuing. The rhythm holding. The sound of the sea. The rhythm of the waves. The waves continuing. The sea. The keeper has drifted deeper now. Consciousness softening.